This is Jay with Sugar Hill Sway. Dig this Irish intro, man. Alright, good morning everybody. We are heading down to Atmore, Alabama. We're heading down here to kind of finish up on this gin. Like I said, there's four more. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, four more. Four other gins down here, so I'll be back again regardless. But heading down here, this gin that I was working on some last week, trying to finish it up. Get done with it. The press that they have down here, they're gonna pull it out and do some work on it, and they're gonna take our machine completely off of it. So I'm gonna have to actually come back to this gin as well. Once they get it put back together and everything, and then rehook everything back up, put the heads back on it, and all that stuff. So that's the story. That's where we're heading at right now. It's actually a pretty neat little town. It's not really a town. It's more like a little community. There's no stores there or anything. It's right there, pretty close to the Indian reservation that's down here, the Creek Indian, Porch Indian. Porch Creek Indian Reservation. There we go. And it's a funny thing, and I've seen it a million times driving by here. I'm on I-65 heading south right now. Just crossed over a creek called Murder Creek, and I've actually looked it up to see why it was called Murder Creek before. And if I can remember my story correctly, back in the early pioneer days, it had to be early 1800s maybe. There was a French guy that was traveling around. I don't know what he was doing traveling, but he kind of come on some hard times while he was in his travels, and this family took him in for a couple of days and got him healed back up and everything, and he told them where he was going. He was going to someplace, I can't remember. And once he got well enough to leave, he wanted to know what the best way was to go to get to where he was going. They told him, just stay close to this creek right here, and it runs right to wherever it is you're going to go. Well, somehow or another, somebody found out that he had a little money on him, and from what I understand, he made it down the creek a little ways, got robbed and murdered. And that's why they called it Murder Creek, because the atrocity that happened on that creek with him being murdered for his money. And from what I understand, that's where he was found. He was found right there either on the creek or in the creek or by the creek or somewhere. But if I ain't mistaken, that's why they call it Murder Creek. I could have my story all screwed up, but I think that's true. There's another little place down here that I've never been that I want to go. It's called Fort Mims, and I'll tell you the story about that another day, because I'm fixing to have to turn off for it, or another time. I don't know if it'd be another day or anything, but another time we'll get into Fort Mims. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's at home because of this virus. There ain't gonna be no celebrating this year. But I got my green on. Got my green on. Got my green on. Got my green on. Yeah, that's all I got. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Alright, whenever I got back to the hotel last night or yesterday afternoon, I walked in, and the little lady that's working the front desk had some gloves on. Well, there was an older lady in there too. I guess she was a guest there. I don't think she was I know she didn't work there, but she was a guest there. She starts going off. Now let me back up a little bit. The lady that did work there was running the front desk. She had some gloves on. This virus is going around. People are wearing gloves and masks and stuff like that. And this lady that was a guest started, just out of the blue, just not really giving her down the road, but trying to make her feel, I guess, beneath her because she was wearing gloves, telling her that she didn't need to wear any gloves, that they're not going to save you, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. And I'm like, the whole time, lady, shut up. Just because you think you're smarter than everybody else don't mean that everybody wants to hear your mouth run. If that lady feels more comfortable wearing gloves, let her wear gloves. I can't stand it when people who think they're so smart start telling you how to do things when they don't know themselves. Now, she's probably right. If you don't change your gloves after using them, then they're just as contagious as your hands are. But they do keep your hands from getting anything on your hands. But if you're, touching a lot of stuff and then you touch your eyes with the gloves on or whatever, then yeah, it's just as bad. I mean, you're not doing any good. But nobody appointed her safety, health, and administrator or anything. Lady, just shut up. Nobody wants to hear your mouth run just because you think you're smart. And that just bugs the crap out of me. I cannot stand that when people think they're smarter than you and start telling you how to do things. It's like me whenever I'm working on equipment and stuff, and somebody comes up behind me and starts watching me and everything like that, and they ask me, they said, I'm not making you nervous by standing over you like this, am I? I said, no, and it's not. It doesn't make me nervous for somebody to watch me work. As long as you ain't telling me how to do it. As long as you ain't trying to tell me how to do it. If that's the case, then you can get down there and do it yourself. This bugs the snot out of me. Somebody call you up on the phone and they ask you during gin season. It's another thing. Another soapbox today. Another thing, they call you up over the phone and say, hey, this machine's doing this, 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 and this. Or it's doing this. And I say, well, it might be, this. And then they'll come back and say, no, that ain't it. Well, if you know that ain't it, what are you calling me for if you know so much about it? Did you check it? No. Check it. That ain't it. All right, well, check this. Knowing they ain't checked it in the first place, it just bugs the snot out of me. If you know so much, go get a job to where you can actually put that to use. Don't think you're just so smart that you can just tell everybody what to do and it makes you seem smarter. Bothers me. Alright, y'all, they have got me detoured off. If you hadn't seen one of my previous videos, I talk about a little intersection right there in a town or community called I Know. How it's got a real bad curve right there, and there's always a lot of wrecks right there at that curve. Well, I was coming back through Opp, hit I Know, Alabama, and there was a wreck. So they had us detour off, but I don't know, they had me detour off there, and the police and firefighters and all that stuff had me detour off. And I'm not really sure where I'm at. I know if I stay on this road here, I'll eventually hit a road that I originally was on, but I'm not really sure where I'm at. Oh, that's a new territory to me. I've never been down this road, not that I know of anyway. It's like the rest of time, I guess. I don't know. As long as the roads are good, I'll eventually find my way back out of here. Because when you're riding down these roads, all of a sudden, boom, they turn into a dirt road. That's no fun. There ain't no moving around in the back road. I killed a spider, y'all. Crawling up on me. Here's a stop sign. I'm gonna see which road I'm on here. I either gotta turn left or turn right. My guess is I'm gonna have to turn left. Yeah, this is the road. This road actually intersects with the road that I was just on. This is Highway 87. And it's going to intersect with Highway 134, and that's what I need to be on, 134. So I'm on track. We'll get it. We'll get there. Right there is looks like an Army helicopter landing pad. Looks like it's got a control tower up there. Got a bunch of landing strips and stuff, so I imagine that's what it is. Y'all, this dog loves her some pecans. And she'll eat the whole thing. She'll crack them and all. Chris. She'll take the whole pecan over there, crack it, spit it out, and dig the meat out of it. We shell them for her. She won't eat them when they're shelled. We got several pecan shelled right here. She won't eat it. She wants the ones that she can crack herself. All right, y'all, we back down here. I brought a couple more boards down here, a couple more 2x4s down here. It's too late in the afternoon to really get started on anything. About 4 o'clock. I really don't feel like getting in there and getting my feet wet. So I just brought a couple more boards down here. I haven't felt good today. No, it ain't the coronavirus. I just haven't felt good today. Been tired more than anything. So I was tired enough to take a nap, and I'm never that tired. I rarely take naps, but I've taken one the past 2 days. It's afternoon, it just kind of falls down on me. But anyway, I'm gonna try to do some work on it tomorrow. If I can get it shored up to where it's stable enough for me to get out there on it, then we'll get back to kicking with it. But looks like there's been some action over there on the other side of the beach over there. You can tell that it's spring and everything's warming up, everything's greening up, because back during the winter you could see all the way through that undergrowth over there because there wasn't any leaves. Now the green leaves have popped out on it. Can't hardly see anything. You can, but it's just not very clear. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to get that bridge done. So maybe all the traffic that was over there or over here will cross here, and we can see as much action in the wintertime. I mean, in the summertime and spring and fall as you do in the wintertime. All right, y'all. This is y'all's homework for the week. Tell me what kind of flower that is. It's just growing wild down here. I've never seen a flower like it, or a plant, or whatever it is. I don't see any anywhere else. It's just right here. It's kind of in a swampy creek that's down here by the creek, so It's pretty, whatever it is. It looks like honeysuckle, but it's not honeysuckle. I don't know. I've never seen this before. Y'all know what it is, comment down below. Alright, y'all, we come up here to Abbeville to try to shop and get a few things that we need. Of course, those few things always turn into a big thing. A lot of big things. So all the restaurants that are downtown here are curbside only. So my son needed some eardrops. So I dropped my wife off at the little restaurant that we're gonna get something to eat at. I dropped her off while I run down here and got some eardrops. Now she's sitting there waiting for the food, and I'm just making circles around until the food's ready. Because all the curbside parking is for pickup only. You know, so you can't park and you just sit there and wait. You gotta just pick it up. But we went to the grocery store too and got some stuff. You know, for there to be a quarantine on, there's a lot of folks out on the road. Of course, I guess if they're in their truck or their car, they can't spread it to nobody else but, you know, in the car. But man, I tell you, this little grocery store up here, though, they still had a lot of stuff. I mean, they wasn't they had toilet paper, believe it or not. I mean, they limited you to what you could get, but they still had toilet paper. There's a parking spot right here. I'm gonna get it. If they don't like it, they can bite it. But anyway, I ain't riding around anymore. Let me go get her. Look at all these cars on the road. They're supposed to be quarantined.
Ain't quarantined.
No, you ain't quarantined. This is like business as usual. Only thing is you can't go inside. Downtown Abbeville. They've really done a good job fixing downtown up. I just brought down here a couple of more boards down to the creek. There's a couple more of them flowers that I was talking about. There's something, I don't know what it is. Huh. I don't know. I tell you, it seems to me that it's easier to tell the trails when there's more foliage on the tree. Something's over there grunting, like an old pig. It's not a pig, but I'm sitting grunting. Anyway, it's easier to tell the trails where the foliage is thicker. Like when everything now is turning green, the leaves are starting to come out and everything. It's easier to tell the trails because that's where the heavier trails are still noticeable. They're still there, whereas the lightly used trails will start to grow over a little bit. Start to grow over a little bit. All right, I'm back down here at the bridge, the Coon Bridge. I think I brought enough wood down here this time. That's 3/4 of the work right there, just bringing all the wood down here. We're busting those those porch railings apart, getting the old nails and stuff out of them where you can, and then bringing them down here. I'm gonna flip this sucker over and shore it up some, and then flip it back, and then I'm gonna start laying some darn planks. Alright, first thing I gotta do is cut off my doggone trail camera. Last thing I need is fill up an SD card with my butt in the air. So we do that. Sun's not out. It's overcast. It's pretty. It's cool down here. It's warm. As you walk up to the top of the hill there, it gets kind of hot. But down here in this little shallow where this branch runs through this little creek, it's nice and cool down here. It's not cold, but it's not hot either. So we'll get to work. Now I remember why I took the darn rails down in the first place. Wood wasn't no good. I ain't giving up on it yet. I got enough spare wood here. I can shore some stuff up. I mean, you might not be able to drive a truck over it, but I ain't giving up on this one. Yeah, I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to get my feet in the water. And that's what happened. I crawled out here. I laid some of those 2x4s down here, and I thought I could crawl out here and shore it up before I put a lot of weight on it. Yeah, that didn't work out. What do they call that? An epic fail. That's what that was. But I'm gonna build it back up and put some braces here. I got this one braced up. That's what I was aiming for in the first place. I was trying to do it without getting my feet wet, having to get back down here, but yeah, that didn't work out. Nope. Don't ever pee upstream in a creek. You'll regret it, I promise you. That's your tip for the day. Well, halfway there. Just got to attach the other side, lay those planks on the other side. Halfway there. Be glad too. Done. It's got a sag in the middle. I don't care about no sagging in the middle, because I really didn't want to brace it down into that sand. That creek bottom is sand, and the only way to keep it level was to you know, pour some supports down there, put some supports down there, nail it to the thing, this and that. All I want to do is make it safe enough for a deer or a bobcat or a coon or something to walk across. That's all I wanted, and that's good enough for me. And I can walk across it. It creaks and cranks and spits and sputters when I'm walking across it. But it holds. It's good enough for a little old creek anyway. Let me put it like that. I'm glad I'm done, because I ran out of screws. I needed 2 more screws. I ran out of screws, but that'll be all right. I ain't worried about that. All right, it's getting dark down here. I got to get my butt out from down here. Okay, we didn't have a whole lot of action on our trail cams this past week, but what we did have is actually pretty neat. My wife run off a couple of dogs that was in our yard one night, either last week or week before last, and this is a video of one of them. Fits the description of what she was telling me. The light went off. He didn't know what to make of that light. There it is again. Or she. This is a female, I can tell. Okay, here's the video of those two, of both of the dogs. The one right before this was just the one dog, but this is both of them. The dog that you just saw is the one on the left here. Then coming in out to the right will be the other dog, the black dog. Let's move this over. Look at that. Bam. The white dog went off. There's the black dog. He's a big old dog. Now, I run the white dog out of my yard one night last week. I was out there in the shop, and she just come out of nowhere, stuck her head in there, and I run her off. And I ain't seen her since. She ain't been back up. Neither one of them have. But that's her. Those them two dogs. If I can ever find out the collar, if I can ever get my hands on the collar, there may be a ID tag on them. I don't know. And who says that coons are nocturnal? They only come out at night. I ain't said that. Although I've never seen one in the wild during the day. Seen them by the side of the road during the day. Seen them with a bunch of pups or whatever they have. But I've never seen one in the wild myself, in person during the day. But there's one right there. There's one walking across. He's going right there where I put the bridge. Alright, here's the best one for last. I saved it for last. Right here, if you can follow my mouse pointer right here, follow my mouse arrow right there, there's the coon right there. He's just going to be walking off to the left, but that ain't the main thing. What I've never ever caught right there is right here. See where the mouse pointer is? There's one. There's the other. So, let's see if we can get them moving. Yeah, the coon's moving, and that's all well and fine. Playing in the water. But those pictures of those spiders. See that one moving? Never gotten that on trail cam before. That's kind of neat. Alright, that's it for this week. Alright, y'all. We're heading back down here. I'm gonna change the cards out on some of these cameras. And like I said, I only got the two. I still haven't got the the stealth cameras the way I want them yet. So we just still got these two. And I was down here, but by the time I got through with the bridge, I kind of just had one thing on my mind. It then got dark, and the only thing I had on my mind was getting out of here. So I'm gonna walk back down in here and change these cameras out. That's probably gonna do it for this week. We'll see what we got on the cameras. Let's see what we got on these cameras, and I'll share them in this week's video. But just remember, everybody, if you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. Stay away from people as much as possible. Now, this is coming from me, who's going to a doctor's appointment tomorrow. My wife, she ain't too thrilled about it. She wants to give me a Clorox bath when I get home and throw my clothes and burn my clothes and all this stuff. All this stuff. But really, if you don't have to go anywhere, just hang around. You can watch Sugar Hill Sway with Jay videos all day long if you want to. Binge watch them. But don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like our videos, hit that little bell over there and lets you know whenever we do post a new video. Like I said, I post weekly episodes every Monday. I share on Facebook. I share a 2-week-old episode on Facebook every Wednesday, and then a shop time video on every Thursday and Saturday. All right, y'all take care. Be safe. Be careful. We'll see you next week.